In Political Science for Class 12, we are continuing the chapter Globalization, and today we will be concluding this chapter. And the topic that is taken today is India's efforts towards globalization. By now, you know the meaning of globalization. That is what? That is the flow of people, commodities, goods, technology, capital, etc., from one country to the other, from one place to the other for the development. And we know that the globalization is not a very new concept for India. It had occurred even in earlier periods of history also. Like free flow of movement of capital, commodities, ideas, and people, it was taking place in the past also. In colonial era also, India became exporter of raw material and finished goods and an importer of finished goods. And after getting independence, India decided to become self-reliant. And now also we are moving towards the same direction of becoming self-reliant. Okay? And not to export also. That time we are talking about. That time it was decided. But it did not benefit much, as in certain areas like health, housing, primary education, these areas were neglected and the growth rate was sluggish, very slow. And Indian economy faced serious economic crisis. And to overcome this situation, India embarked upon a rapid program of deregulation and disinvestment. Deregulation means not to have control on many economic activities and let them managed by private sector. And disinvestment also to take back the steps from various areas like free trade and FDI, and they became key programs. FDI is foreign direct investment, and free trade, country to country they can have the business, the trade. Okay, so India began this process in late 1980s, and certain major changes were introduced in policies like trade policy reforms. It is related to do away the earlier licensing system, to reduce tariff on imports, and to phase out non-tariff barriers. Then in industrial policy reforms, abolition of license except for few main industries, and few items were reserved for public sector. Then restriction on investment by big industrial houses were abolished, taken away. Foreign direct investment was given preferential treatment. Okay, investment from the people of other countries in our country. Then NRIs, they were given and they were allowed additional investment. And Indian enterprises were allowed to invest abroad. So these were the reforms in industrial areas. Then exchange rate reforms, that is related to devaluation of the rupee in 1991. Then partial convertibility of the rupee in 1992 and 93, and full convertibility of the rupee in 1994. Then capital market reform was also there, and that was setting up of the Security and Exchange Board of India, that is commonly known as SEBI, the abbreviation, and it was established in 1994. Then financial reforms like private sector banks, including joint venture foreign banks, they were allowed to expand their operations. Then a policy regime was initiated for private non-banking finance companies also. Next reform was related to disinvestment. Disinvestment, earlier the government had invested, now it was disinvesting. For example, insurance sector that was thrown open for the competition. Then WTO, World Trade Organization, that was established in 1955. So under the influence of World Trade Organization, tariff was removed from many items, and subsidies, related to subsidies, India is moving towards ending the role as regulator on subsidies. So these are the efforts made by India or Indian government for globalization. Thank you.